Huge episode. We got to get right into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Wow.
That feels
That
like
is the sound.
Somebody shook that shit. That's what it sounds like.
That is the sound of $100 million.
according to Forbes.
According to Forbes.
According to Forbes, Nas and Anthony made $100 million on Coinbase. That sounds like Anand made the same amount of money too. We have a special guest today. We have Anthony Saleh, aka Anthony Salah. Saleh.
AKA Dude Bro.
AKA Dude Bro. We're doing a pod today to celebrate this Coinbase investment that happened 8.5 years ago, which I'm going to start with a question. Why am I not in Coinbase?
You were offered.
You thought it was stupid.
I was offered? I don't recall that.
So I can tell you exactly what happened.
Let's hear it.
We had the opportunity to invest in 2 crypto companies. One was called 21E6. One was Coinbase. They both were funded in the same week or within
them.
2 weeks. 21E6 was a mining company. Coinbase was an exchange. And you said they were both stupid.
Well, one of them went to zero, right?
Yes.
So I was 50% right.
That's true. Yes. Yeah, half right.
So that's what happened. This is all hearsay. There's no proof. You guys just slide me $1 million each.
I was talking to Nas, and we were like talking about you specifically. And he was like, oh, why doesn't Dee do some of this stuff with us? I was like, Dee's more so betting on us picking the right thing so that he just doesn't have to worry about anything.
I'm not one to be picking horses.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a bet on you guys.
It's the trainer.
Yeah, I'll be the trainer. I'll be your relentless coach.
Didn't you get asked the same question last week? Like, why aren't you on the coupon cap table?
Coupon, I know that was like your friend. I probably didn't even know about it till after the fact. When you went to Korea, like 2 years later, that's probably when I realized you were an investor in Coupon.
Exactly.
But congratulations, guys.
Thanks, man. It's a great feeling. I was talking to Felicia Horowitz yesterday, and she said to me, like, if you want to build generational wealth, you have to take risks that that are just completely out of the norm.
Yeah.
And I feel good that like we actually saw this thing through. And now I'll be the first to admit, like, I am not like a crypto nerd. I don't like read about every single thing happening in crypto. I don't know about every single coin or token or whatever. I don't know about every single platform. But I believe in the fundamentals of, what crypto is trying to accomplish. I think it is all over the place, but it's pretty early days still. And I think Coinbase is, they're one of the most important companies in the space. So, I would say we're along for the ride, and we're big believers in Brian and Fred as well, the founders. And super excited.
Yeah, and I think what's important to note is these investments seem obvious in hindsight.
Not to me.
You're saying it doesn't seem obvious today?
I'm saying it didn't seem obvious at that time at all.
No, I'm saying it seems obvious today.
Yeah.
In hindsight, this all seemed obvious. So if you look back on 2012, 13, when we invested, crypto had already had a 90% correction and bounced back at the time. And then there was something called the crypto winter between 2014 and 2017, where the price of Bitcoin basically hovered around $200, 150 to 200. And
didn't go up, didn't go down.
Didn't go up, didn't go down. And the entire world had pronounced that crypto's dead. And I know at the time, Coinbase had difficulties raising capital. They had to do some rounds that probably weren't the most favorable. And then 2017 happens where the ICO boom, crypto just goes bananas. And then it corrects again by 90%.
What was the ICO boom?
ICO boom was basically...
Do you remember the ICO?
I'm asking so that other people can understand.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe you didn't know about that.
I'm not a podcast guy. First of all, I didn't even know what topics we were talking about today.
So basically what happened in 2017 is anyone with a white paper was putting out a protocol, mostly bullshit, and pumping coins. Because this is all unregulated at the time.
Yeah.
So they would go on Twitter, Reddit, any message board and say like, oh, this is the next like hot coin. And all these shit coins started amassing like crazy value. And I was telling you a joke and story about Cardano, how like I'm barely in the money in Cardano from 3 years ago. Because that's how bananas all these altcoins were in 2017. And then it got sniffed out because this was all pump and dump in 2017. The technology really wasn't being built yet. Ethereum was really the forefront of where everything was being built, and it was still too early. And Ethereum got to like 1,400 or something around the time. And then everything crashed 90%. Bitcoin went from 20K to like 2-3K. Ethereum went from 1,400 to like $100. And then that is the moment where it really shook out people who really wanted to build on crypto and people who were just pump and dump schemes. Yeah. And so the people that actually stayed, Fred and Brian, and like these true visionaries started building the real technology, which is what, you've seen in the last 12 months with DeFi and NFTs and just Bitcoin becoming a store of value. And that's what really created the crypto economy. And I would say Coinbase's ability to go public at this valuation, I think it's hovering around 85 billion, is really the product of the last 6 months of development. Which, if you think about that pace of innovation that's happened, and that's what's crazy about new technologies, when it hits, it's like you're having thousands and thousands of developers around the world, and it's distributed teams. They live everywhere in the world.
I think they also hit a pop culture moment. So the timing is not just, okay, of course, the price of crypto, went nuts. Then perfect timing. This NFT thing comes out of nowhere, becomes the top thing. Josh was telling me he's in on a stable on Zed Run on racing horses. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Yes, I have. It's nuts.
It's insane. Yeah. So it's like we've reached this like talk about timing of like the stock. I mean, the price of crypto gaining, specifically Bitcoin, the innovation hitting. Then this pop culture thing happens with NFTs where 3 weeks before you go public, the largest painting ever gets bought for $70 million. The largest NFT gets bought for $70 million. So you get like perfect wave, but it took 10 years to get that perfect wave.
Yeah. And I think the most fun part of our Coinbase journey is a story of how we got allocation. I'll let Anthony take this away.
Whatever.
How we got into Coinbase. You worry, we'll edit it. Just start.
So the Coinbase story is super interesting. I one day had called Ben Horowitz out the blue and was like, tell me everything you know about Bitcoin. And he starts like laughing on the phone. So we just start talking through it or whatever. And I come back with the info I gather and share with Anand, and we're all like talking about what we're doing. We're buying coins and things like that. And then one random morning, I get a call from Ben, and he's like, yo, you need to, he's like, are you free tonight? I was like, yeah, I'm free. I'm in LA. And he's like, can you come to Silicon Valley tonight? And I'm like, okay. What's for? And he was doing a boxing party at his house, and he wanted to, and he was hosting the founders of Coinbase, Fred and Brian. And and he was like, look, it's the hottest deal in Silicon Valley right now. We're trying to like close it. Like, can you and Nas come? I'll send the jet. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't remember why you didn't come.
So I'm going to tell the story and I'll find out if I need to edit it, Tim. So the reason I didn't come, Amanda and I had just gotten back together that week.
I forgot.
And I had her 30th birthday that I invited her. We were going on like a vineyard tour.
Whose 30th birthday?
Close friend from SC.
Okay. Yeah, meaning he doesn't talk to him that much anymore.
Yeah.
And Anthony gives me the call in the morning. It's like, yo, the Jets come here at 9:30. The Jets here. So I'm balancing like I just got back together with Amanda. Do I just I go on the jet to Silicon Valley, or I preserve like this relationship that I am, at fault for not having it?
Up.
Would you say you chose correctly?
I chose correctly because I got in the
deal. Okay. So we'll take the other answer out of the edit. Got
So I remember him calling me. I was like, fuck, I want to go, but I can't do this.
And we had a blast. The deal ended up getting signed and they let us in. And it was we had such a great time. I mean, those guys were cool. Fred's obsessed with hip hop. So we had like the best time just like partying and hanging and stuff. And like, honestly, like Fred specifically has like stayed consistently in our lives since. And
if you think about how cool it is that Fred, who not only is the founder of Coinbase, I think he owns like 8 to 10% of now an $85 billion company. God knows what he owns in coins. He's an insanely successful fund. And he's texting me and Anthony the day of the IPO.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really freaking cool.
yeah.
Well, what also made me realize when you think about Coinbase in the last 48 hours, the thing that stands out most, Nas got more press than anyone else.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was the...
I was kind of bummed people cared about Kevin Durant investing at $1.6 billion.
Well, he tweeted about it. Yeah. He said he
probably had a PR person.
He had a quote, something like legend in 2 game.
Yeah.
Like Pee Wee Kirkland, whatever. And so what's interesting is here's like this most transformational company in finance that we've seen since early banks. Mm-hmm. Maybe like since like a PayPal came onto the scene. Huge impact for society, finance. And when you search Coinbase, the thing that keeps coming up is Nas.
Yeah.
That is what's the most interesting part. And why I think that's so interesting is, and this is what a Fred or a Brian or Ben Horowitz appreciates, that if you don't have, look, I'm saying if you don't, you can still make it. But if you have the cosign of popular culture and leaders in popular culture that people respect, it's another level of awareness you get. Like, think about what Nas is doing for crypto. He is giving a bunch of people that may not have paid attention to it, may not have even cared about it, may not have even trusted it, now comfort in, like, you take the African-American community, you got to believe that they can trust crypto because Nas is an investor in Coinbase. So it gives you comfort and confidence. And it's pretty interesting that like more companies, I know celebrities invest in businesses all the time, but it's such an important element that to have the right talent involved, what it does for your business. Because it's $85 billion IPO, but it was Nas investment is the headline anywhere in the world.
I think what's cool about Fred, the co-founder, is that he recognizes that.
Yeah.
So the day of the IPO, he took pride in the fact that Nas believed in this in 2012.
Yeah.
That Nas bought into crypto, holds crypto coins, believed in Coinbase. And I think you got to, if it seems so obvious now, but for the younger listeners, they're too young to understand what was going on in 2012, this 1819. Crypto was not welcomed.
No.
So crypto basically was told by every Wall Street titan, everyone in finance, everyone in mainstream media that it's a scam.
Yeah. That
this is worthless. It's going to zero. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. And this band of outsiders to have this kind of conviction to keep building and building, I hope we see it again with some new technology. We probably will, but I think it's really important to appreciate the guys who built this industry because they were so contrarian and they were told by everyone it wasn't going to happen.
I'll tell you who I give more credit to are actually the major investors in the business. Because you as the entrepreneur have the conviction, but you got to have people that have deep pockets that believe in you. So like, who are the major investors in Andreessen Horowitz? I mean, in Coinbase, Andreessen Horowitz.
IVP. But I would give credit to Mark and Ben.
Yeah.
Because even during the crypto winter, they were
still giving them
doing public interviews that this is the most transformational technology that they've ever seen.
Yeah.
And they would say, this is the internet in the 90s. The internet in the 90s wasn't the internet in 2000. It was choppy. There's a lot of things that are going to work.
Yeah.
And they always preach like any transformational technology will have major breakthroughs, which obviously crypto provided, but it's gonna be really clunky in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it's not gonna make sense, and it takes developers and entrepreneurs to build on it. And I credit them, Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz, from not only a public perception, like keeping people, because dude, these guys created the internet. Mark and Ben.
Yeah.
Netscape is the internet.
Yeah.
The internet browser is why the internet took off in the 90s. And they had this conviction on this new technology. That's what honestly kept me and Anthony like, we're not selling our coins, we're not selling shit. Because if those guys believe in it and they created the internet, then I think they know something more than others.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying is I actually give them more credit than they probably are getting. Because like, to continue to believe in something that pretty much the world has written off. As a founder, of course, you're delusional. You think you're going to change the world.
Yeah.
But as an investor, to keep dumping money and supporting it, it's just a pretty big deal.
And I'll tell you, in 2018, Coinbase was doing around 2018, so only 2.5 years ago. It was the fall of 18. It was very difficult for them to raise.
What was the valuation then?
They ended up getting $400 million and $8 billion. And that was the last round of capital they took. But it was crypto winter. I think the third crypto winter.
Yeah.
Bitcoin was hovering around like 5-6K.
Yeah.
And no one was interested. Silicon Valley wasn't interested. It took Tiger Global. I mean, think about how many firms are in Silicon Valley, and Tiger Global, which is based in New York, gave him $400 million.
Tiger Global's kind of hot.
Tiger Global is a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know how the company got named? Did you listen to that podcast?
I think
the guy that started it
his
didn't
son
know any.
told him you wouldn't remember anything. He called everyone Tiger.
Yeah,
right.
so you should name the company Tiger Global.
Yeah, because he didn't know anyone's names, and he just said, "Hey Tiger." Just call it Tiger Global.
That's unbelievable. And so what's next for crypto? So everyone, it's funny. You're seeing the coins obviously all rally right now, and they're all going up like crazy. And I read comments either on social media or in people posting. They go, "Oh, it's too late. Oh, it's too late."
It's so. I mean, here's the thing, right? When Stripe raised money, when Uber raised money, when Snapchat raised money, all these companies that are all worth over $100 billion now, we called them too expensive at $500 million. We called Instacart too expensive at $500 million. We called Stripe a ridiculous price at $2 billion.
Yep.
Like, at the end of the day, there is so much room for technology and growth in the financial markets. And quite honestly, I don't think like a lot of these companies have even scratched the surface on their TAM, total addressable market. And so like, it's just the beginning. The next 10 years are going to be bigger than the last.
Yeah.
Just like the last 10 years were bigger than the ones before that.
Yeah.
So I just don't have, it's not too late.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. How many people, like, how big has Microsoft gotten in the last 5 years, right?
Insane.
How big has Apple gotten in the last, it was probably too late 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You probably would have 5x your money.
I mean, Warren Buffett, I think his biggest position is Apple, and he invested 4 years ago.
He just got into technology.
By the way, Warren Buffett probably has done some of I don't know anyone who's been more asleep at the wheel than him. And because he just has these big ass positions in Apple, the most boring position you can have in technology, he's somehow still killing it.
Yeah, he's still one of the richest men on there.
And so and he doesn't even he really doesn't know what he's doing anymore on that level.
No, he doesn't. He absolutely doesn't. And I think
he doesn't need to, right?
No, he doesn't
need to.
I always know Warren Buffett is incredible. Like, I'm not dissing him, but he really doesn't. I mean, he even says it. He doesn't know.
He self-admittedly says, "I don't understand technology."
No,
that's fine. He didn't need to.
He
understood railroads and Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
that's good enough.
And probably garbage companies and shit like that. Shit that the mafia.
Insurance.
Yeah, the things that the mafia used to control because that's probably where he got his info from.
No, but I think it's important to note that if crypto is real, if the crypto economy if you think it's too late, you're not understanding what the opportunity is. Because at this value right now, if crypto's real, it's either 50x from here or it's a zero.
Well, and I don't even think people realize that it's probably even bigger because you put Bitcoin aside for store of value. The actual practical purposes that people are now using
Yep.
for crypto is going to disrupt any financial transaction on earth.
I think a third of the world is still unbanked.
Yeah, and
So think about that. A third of the world.
forget those people because they don't unfortunately have any money.
No, but they have cell phones. There's 5 billion smartphones in the world.
I agree. I'm just saying, take the American economy, American finance, right? Biggest thing on earth. That is going to get disrupted, right? Everything from your day-to-day banking and the way we make purchases, the way we invest our money, and then this huge shift of young people who are going to look at all the traditional places that people invested their money and are going to want to do other things. Like, I think a great example is Pete, who has Dogecoin, which is, I don't even know where you buy that coin. On like Robinhood, he probably bought it.
Yes.
He's on fire.
It's on fire. It's up, what, like 6-7x since you bought it.
Yes.
In what world does a Pete get to 6x, 7x anything?
Yeah, impossible.
Nothing. Only crypto is that happening.
And it's crypto, why I'm so passionate, I've said this so many times, it's just an equalizer. Because if you think about the institutions in the world, Wall Street and finance, barriers, they don't want you to participate. They make it so difficult. Average people can't get loans. Small businesses can't go. I mean, we've been in business 20 years. How many loans have we gotten from Wells Fargo?
0.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So that's the point. Like we're a successful small business and we can't get a freaking loan.
Yeah.
And Wall Street has made this like huge barrier to entry. Like you have to do all these hoops and hurdles and get to certain net worth till you get to participate. And then once you get to participate, it's like free money all day long.
Yeah.
Higher education, another bullshit like velvet rope institution.
Yeah.
And crypto breaks all of that down. Anyone can freaking participate. And it's so freaking cool because this band of outsiders effectively told Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon, Lloyd Blankfein for years, we're building this new economy, whether you guys like it or not. And they all shitted on it. They shit on it for years and years. Goldman Sachs last year, 2020, said Bitcoin is not an asset class. Who was the book runner on Coinbase? Goldman fucking Sachs.
Obviously, they're not turning down fees.
So my point is, the group of band of outsiders, these like brilliant entrepreneurs, brilliant computer scientists, basically give a big F you to Wall Street. We're creating this new economy. Either get on board or we're going to pass you.
They may not be publicly on board. I think they're privately all on board.
I mean,
I don't believe David Solomon does not own crypto.
What Anand is saying is very much the first world kind of point of view on it. For me, the thing that I fell in love with was the digital currency product that I forgot the telco company's name that launched in Kenya called M-Pesa.
Okay.
And they launched in 2007. And what that was obviously, the banking infrastructure in Africa is like, it doesn't exist, right? And so this telco company, and the thing about telco companies in third world countries, this because of India.
Yeah.
They are like everything.
They're like mafia.
Yeah, they'll sell you groceries. This literally
It's like an Ambani type.
Yeah, they launched a digital currency platform that could be where you could trade money or whatnot, hold money in your account.
Yeah.
And it took off and created a whole different new economy in Kenya. And when I saw that, I was like, the applications around what could be built with third world countries, considering that mobile adoption is absolutely exploding everywhere. And obviously there's a long way to go in Africa with internet penetration and things like that, but it's heading in the right direction, maybe not fast enough. But I have to because think about this, right? Why did e-commerce take off in China? Because they had no continuity around their retail experience. It was a bunch of hogwash, different stores in every single place. There's no consistency around brand, anything.
Yeah.
We have Target, Walmart, blah, blah, blah. Literally, that's what's going to happen in Africa with fintech. Yeah. There is no underlying infrastructure at all in any way. And when when you see these applications really more and more develop in innovation, you're going to see financial tools and financial technology completely take off in these places where banking isn't doesn't have a strong footprint.
So if you're listening and you're like, okay, I'm sold on the crypto dream. The average person, what is it? Just buying coins?
I think I've been telling people since the summer that listen to this podcast, dive into DeFi.
Yeah.
That is the easiest way to learn and understand how the crypto economy works. So we'll post this, Pete, on our feed. Brian and Fred, the founders of Coinbase, did an interview with Mark Andreessen in the middle of IPO day, 10 a.m. So they shunned all traditional media. I think Brian Armstrong did one 5-minute segment with Sorkin on CNBC. Other than that, no one got access to these guys.
Yeah.
Mark Andreessen interviewed Brian and Fred, and they had like an hour and a half video with Fred interviewing ex-employees from Coinbase. The Coinbase mafia is the PayPal mafia. They are going to build the next set of financial products that are going to take off. And I encourage everyone to watch it. It's an hour and a half. And it's so inspiring because they just think differently. They don't think within the bounds of what finance regulators and tax regulators and everyone tells you. They are just reimagining how this new world needs to work, from social networks, from digital art, from derivatives, from lending, and the level of conviction they have. And Fred's asking some of the Coinbase employees, like, where are we in crypto? So he asked, the 4 employees, and they're like, I think we're 5% in. 5%. Yeah. So if you think it's too late, you have literally the people who are building this new world saying we're 5% in.
Yeah. Did anyone say I'm in the dugout spraying champagne?
What's that?
Did anyone say I'm in the dugout spraying champagne like the game's over?
No. And then they ask, what do you think about DeFi? They say DeFi 1% in.
Yeah.
1%.
Yeah.
This is an economy that was $0 a year ago. It's a $58.3 billion economy.
Yeah.
We're 1% in.
I like the name for a brand for me, DeFi.
Yeah, you should be all in DeFi.
Yeah.
But and what's so inspiring about these guys, and it's so cool that we got to see it firsthand, is that when people say people are mission focused, a lot of it's bullshit. When you hear like a lot of founders say, these guys are freaking mission focused. Yeah. So in the middle of pricing Coinbase, this is like a monumental watershed moment for the crypto world. Mark Andreessen's interviewing these guys live, and Mark sees that Coinbase started trading at whatever, 10:30, 11 a.m. Pacific. And he's like, hey guys, we're live. And Brian Armstrong just like gives a thumbs up and a smile. Like, they don't care. This isn't what they're about.
Yeah.
When they say they're building a platform and a ability to give economic freedom for all, I believe them. And I think that's what's so cool about their story. And that's what's so cool about crypto. And I truly believe this is an economic revolution that is just getting started. And everyone's going to be able to participate as long as crypto can keep, paving the way.
Yeah. Great. Hey, everyone. This episode of Group Chat is brought to you by the healthiest thing you could do for yourself.
What's that?
Athletic Greens. 75 multivitamins, minerals, all kinds of stuff in there that's going to do your body some great, great things. Especially if you're one of those millions of listeners that have made billions of dollars off Dogecoin. It's time to start taking care of your health.
Yeah.
So head over to athleticgreens.com/group chat. And Pete, what do you get if you go there?
You're going to get a free year supply of vitamin D and 5. That's right, 5 free travel packs today.
Pete is so rich. When he bought it, he said, I don't even need the 5 free packs. Give it to some other poor sap.
I'm all about investing in Dogecoin and investing in my own
Pete
self.
just get greens injected into him now. He's so rich.
Yes. I had Athletic Greens just hooking me up with an IV. It's nice being rich.
Oh, my God. Okay, thanks. I mean, the big paving the way, talk about on the forefront, 11 Miami is accepting Bitcoin now.
Great.
I mean, what a great weekend, because half those employees are heading down there anyway.
They might be there already. Coinbase has no offices. They're permanently work from home.
I'm sure 11's going to have a record weekend. Yeah. I mean, my guess is people are going to be flipping coins left and right. But I mean, it's
just wild to think about.
I think what's happening is everyone in America found out what Bitcoin is yesterday.
I don't like it.
What, 11 accepting Bitcoin, or?
Yeah, I mean,
you think they're arbitraging customers?
I mean, part of the experience of going to 11 is throwing money.
Yeah.
What are you gonna throw your phone in there?
Yeah.
And then
Throw your ledger. Throw your ledger.
What's that ledger company? The physical one?
Yeah,
Ledger.
Ledger.
You check your ledger.
Oh, matter of fact, Ian hit me up yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you must have smelled that money from France.
Let's hear what he has to say when he hears the comment.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think, look, Cash App did a great job of this where they penetrated the strip club market and really and that was very helpful in their user adoption, right?
Why? Because strippers were like, cash at me.
Oh my God. It went from strippers to barbershops to local chefs to this to that. And
Wow.
Cash App went to the streets to really break their
Yeah.
product. So I do like the concept of it. The problem is I hate anything where people are accepting Bitcoin for payment. Like Bitcoin's value is too much in flux for you to ever pay for any, so you mean to tell me if the day Bitcoin's hovering around 45K, I buy a drink with Bitcoin and then in a week and a half, Bitcoin's at 70K. So what did I spend? $100 on a fucking cocktail?
Yeah.
The problem is I don't think in my opinion, as someone who has bought Bitcoin and who owns Bitcoin, I would not use it for this.
Yeah.
I think it's a stupid use case. And I think,
sorry, go ahead.
and I think consumers are not smart enough to understand the storage value concept. So they're gonna be like, oh, cool, let me just use my Bitcoin for this.
Yeah.
It's a dumb thing to do. I would never use any of my coins for any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
So that's an ironic name then. It's called cryptocurrency.
So I think even the most diehard crypto folks, including the Coinbase folks and Andreessen Horowitz and all these guys, they've accepted that Bitcoin is not a currency. Bitcoin is a store of value. So that initial, it's
What about the rest of it though? Then why is Ethereum price going up? If
Ethereum's price is going up because applications are being built on
Ethereum's
Ethereum.
different.
But what about all the coins, right? If it's truly
they all
a currency.
they all have different applications.
Yeah.
Flow is for all the Dapper projects. Then you have Rally Coin for the Star Card protocol. Then there's so many different.
So it's really a stable coin that we need to be a true digital currency.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't even think we need it to be currency for crypto to be a $20 trillion economy.
No, I agree. But I was always, here's the thing that turned me off when they first said it was it's a currency. You're going to use it for everything. And why I didn't believe it was no way anything fluctuates that much in price anyone's ever going to fucking use.
And I think
It's a currency, but not in our kind of way. There's so many things that are that are currency that
Brian
we don't
Armstrong
use to
said
buy
this
things.
on the YouTube yesterday. He was like, when we were building Bitcoin back in 14, 15, we're like, okay, we need 100 e-commerce sites that do over $1 billion in revenue and get them to accept Bitcoin. And then we're off to the races. And they got a handful and they're like, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we need to keep iterating on what we need to do. I honestly think Ethereum was the tipping point for crypto to actually become this economy, because I think Bitcoin is being understood as this new age form of store of value for the whole world. So it's not gold, it's way bigger. So when people ratchet or try to parameterize Bitcoin to gold, that's a flawed argument. It's 10 times bigger because this is the entire world. It's 7 billion people, not, a handful of people that can own gold. It's really when Ethereum came on that all these kind of different functions can be built on. And you're going to have NBA Top Shot. You're going to have all of DeFi is built on Ethereum.
You know what I think that what crypto did that's the most revolutionary thing? Fractional ownership. That is the most revolutionary thing when I saw that, I was like, fuck.
Rally Road.
You can own $10 worth of anything you want. That changed everything because that allowed participation from anybody, because the barriers to entry in the stock market before fractional share ownership was the price of a share.
Yeah. A farmer in India can own 10 cents of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right?
Poor farmer. Only 10 cents.
$1.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited.
12.
I'm excited to see where. Here's my one question for Coinbase stockholders. Today, their revenue is generated by predominantly trading of Bitcoin. right? And they're taking fee based on the transaction volume, right? And the price. Don't you think it'll become a zero commission game at some point, like everything else? And then you're relying on other financial products.
No, because I think first of all, the cost of security on these products are through the roof.
Yeah.
And my guess is anyone fighting the margin game with Coinbase is probably rolling out a product that might not be as secure.
But they make so much money, so that's not true. That's the old saying: your margin is my opportunity. You don't think?
Okay, so let's think about that for a second, right? Almost every exchanges have been wiped off the planet because of and Bitcoin has stood strong throughout the whole time and has never had one truly significant issue around like any of these problems. And you're talking about wallets that hold millions.
You're talking about Coinbase, not
So I think Coinbase, you have to understand Coinbase is not an exchange. It's a software company first that can hold custody of this new asset class.
How do they make their money?
Through merchant fees, majority, right? But to even do that, do you know how much technology needs to be built? So the way I think about it is that the regulatory moats that Coinbase has. So in 2013, a lawyer for Coinbase told Fred and Brian, don't worry about regulatory. Like, you're such a small startup, no one's going to care. Because there was something from the FinCEN that Treasury that basically said, like, this is now needs to be regulated. And they fired their attorney the next day and paid through the wazoo to get an attorney to be lockstep in regulation. So you're talking a company that's been in lockstep with regulators for now 8 years.
You're saying no one else has done that?
Not for the length that they have.
Okay, but you don't think other people are...
I think they can. So sure. And you look at their board, Catherine Han is an ex-FBI prosecutor. He used to prosecute FBI like criminals, like the Hells Angels. Like, she's a badass prosecutor that is very tied into the Department of Justice. She's on the board of Coinbase. So that was like a very early decision of like to be like, we're lockstep with regulators. They're lockstep with regulators all over the world. So it's not just the US, it's in Asia and multiple different countries. Second, the security infrastructure that they've built would take tens of billions of dollars to build. So Robinhood isn't crypto.
Yeah, I know. Robin's a scam.
That's an exchange. That's like a...
I disagree with that statement.
Anthony's an investor. Well, we're technically investors too, but Anthony's a more recent investor. But that's not... He's shaking his head for those not watching on YouTube. To actually own coins securely on a platform takes insane security. You can Google articles about Coinbase's security infrastructure. It's absolutely bananas. 99% in cold storage. It's in like the Swiss Alps. It's all over the place. And that takes a lot of money to build. So then, hold on. The third thing, network effect. They have 56 million users. So you have to have regulatory lockstep. You have to have the security infrastructure, and then you have to be a brand. Coinbase is a brand. Who in the world doesn't know Coinbase? Coinbase, I would say, is as synonymous with money as Facebook is to social media.
I'm not disagreeing. My question is, let's assume there is one other player, okay, in the market. There are other exchanges.
There will be.
There are other exchanges, obviously. And my question is, because I'm curious, I want to know what their business model is beyond collecting fees on trading. Because I don't think, I think they know they're going to get squeezed out on that at some point.
Of course they do.
So then it becomes, what are the financial products that, because that's also an opportunity for everyone listening. Like, okay, what will be those products? How do you build into that? How do you create businesses around it? Because I just, at the end of the day, when you look at it like black and white, how they make money, it's a brokerage fees. That's where they're making money. And we know that historically, despite all the things you're saying, there's going to be someone sitting there right now in their room saying, I can build a better Coinbase. And some Tiger Global is going to give them $10 billion.
Like Fidelity can't do what Coinbase does.
I'm not saying Fidelity. I'm talking about the kid sitting in his room.
Yeah, that's Uniswap.
Which
is an incredible platform.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's going to be other platforms that come about that.
And I think the bet is basically...
Guys, breaking news.
What do you got?
Robinhood users report that the platform is restricting Dogecoin trades.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Dogecoin
God.
values have climbed over 40%
It's
in the last
okay.
24 hours.
Buy the fucking dip, man.
Is it going down?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, it's not falling off a cliff, but it's
Because you
not
can't
as-
buy it. And
Yeah.
that's the only place
It's
you
the- oh, yeah. It's at 17.4 right now. It's a high of 18. It's
So,
falling,
you know,
but yes.
like I was just saying, Robin is a scam. And
They're at it again. Vlad.
unbelievable.
It's a liquidity issue. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is.
And there's no options being traded on Doge. So what's
No.
the liquidity issue?
You don't even own coin on Robinhood.
Yeah, I
But I
know.
don't have enough.
They're not even, they're just taking the money. They're not actually, this is like the biggest, you know, RIP Bernie Madoff, but this smells like this.
But back to the original point, the bet is I just believe in the team. So they're building on DeFi. They're building on all these different things. If you watch their IPO YouTube video, DeFi was like the common theme throughout the hour and a half.
Yeah.
And you know, I bet on this team that is basically that built this much and who's more positioned.
Yeah.
Given like their moats already to build the next 10 years. And yeah, there are gonna be tons of like Uniswap is a great story. I don't know if I've talked about how Uniswap started.
No.
Uniswap started because Vitalik, the effective white paper creator of Ethereum, who's known as like spearheading Ethereum, writes a blog post about how order books, like the way New York Stock Exchange works, is antiquated, and the way they match buys and sells, it shouldn't be this way. It should be automated. It should be dynamic, and you know all these details. And some kid sees the blog post and hits him up and is like, "I want to build this." And he goes, "Go build it."
Yeah.
So he builds Uniswap. Fred and Vitalik invest in it, and I think yesterday you Googled it. It's like an $18 billion company.
Yeah.
In like 12 months.
Yeah. It's insane. No, I believe that the opportunities, that's what I'm saying is like, this world moves so fast.
Yep.
Because if you think about, you know, you're talking about, there was like the 1990s internet, then there was the bubble in 2000 that burst. And then we didn't see shit happen for a decade.
Yep.
This happened in 3 years,
Yeah, and Uniswap, DeFi is 12 months.
12 months. So like the pace of that things are moving, and that's exciting for a Coinbase, but it's also scary because like these people, Uniswap is $18 billion a coin in 12 months, and it didn't exist before. Like that's insane. That's a quarter of the value of Coinbase.
Yeah.
It's an insane environment to be in, nonetheless. Okay, moving on to the old school entrepreneurs, Jeff Bezos. Final letter as Amazon CEO to his shareholders. Quite interesting. Gave a lot of like really good tidbits here, kind of as like the takeaways. Morning Brew actually broke down a lot of these things on how to be successful. If you want to be successful in business, in life actually, you have to create more than you consume. On how much Amazon pays employees. In 2020, employees earned $80 billion plus another $11 billion to include benefits and various payroll taxes for a total of $91 billion. He always gets shit for the third-party sellers. In 2020, third-party seller profits from selling on Amazon were between $25 billion and $39 billion. And to be conservative, I'll go with the $25 billion. Customers complete 28% of purchases on Amazon in 3 minutes or less, and half of all purchases are finished in less than 15 minutes. You know, like, and then he goes on to how Amazon treats people on employee performance. I think this was like Jeff Bezos, like letting you know all the things you complain about. I'm going to address all of them one last time. Fuck off. I'm doing everything I can. If you guys don't like it, see me and Lauren out in these streets.
Can I give you my hot take?
Yeah.
He listened to Pan Capitalist,
Okay.
heard Tim's concerns about Amazon, and basically bullet pointed why Tim's wrong.
I mean, Tim's spewing, you know, just the woke Jeff Bezos material that's out in public. And and I think it was thoughtfully written. It was important to address as his like farewell to his shareholders. Fucking awesome.
It's great. And I ride with Team Bezos.
I'm a big Bezos guy.
Tim, did you read the letter?
No, he didn't send it to me.
Did you? Did Anand tell you what I said about his new podcast?
No.
I said when I didn't realize that this podcast was coming out to the group chat feed, so I automatically downloaded it because I had told him specifically I'm not subscribing to any more podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm done. I have my shit. I'm done. So when the shit popped up on my phone, I was like, nah, I know how everyone felt when U2's album just popped up.
You guys are you too.
I'd love to be you too. We'll tour the world, Tim.
Yeah.
We'll tour arenas around or stadiums around the world.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Whether you
That's
wanted
amazing.
it or not.
Well, great. I'm glad Bezos said that.
I didn't
letter.
read the shit, so I don't have anything to say about it.
You can always fake it.
I mean, look, I mean, this is his last one. I have time.
Yeah.
He's never gonna do another one again.
He did post. It seems like he's diving into space because he posted yesterday on Instagram. Like,
I mean, that's all he cares about now. Yeah.
why?
What else is there? You've conquered the world. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't strike me as a Bill Gates type where like he's going to dedicate his life to like solving.
Health problems or whatever.
Yeah. He strikes me as a guy that's going.
I think there is a Bezos Elon competition that you can pretty much sense. So I think Elon is obviously way further along in space. So maybe Bezos is just like, I got to catch him.
And if Jeff Bezos is no longer running Amazon and his sole focus is space, I'm betting on Jeff Bezos. Elon has SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to run Tesla. He's got Doge. He's got a pump. He's got to tweet all day. He's throwing parties.
Boring company.
Boring company.
He's tweeting.
A lot of tweeting.
He's on
A lot of
Rogan.
memes.
I think it's going to be a tough one.
He's got, I think, 5 or 6 kids.
Yeah. I mean,
Busy life.
busy life. Like soccer day on Saturday.
And we know he's active in PTA. We heard that recently. He's an active PTA parent.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, this is a lot. That's why I think Jeff Bezos on space. I think he catches up quick.
What does Jeff do for fun? We don't even know anything about this guy.
Vacations. You
I
see him.
saw
I know he vacations. We know he fucks, but that's about it.
What else is there?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, don't you just want to do that all day?
Yeah, I just want a vacation.
I bet he has some. He does weird ass shit.
What do
I
you?
don't-
He's
I
lifting a
know,
lot of
just-
weights.
I mean, the one time I saw him,
For what? He's not ever gonna fight anyone. No one's gonna be able to get close to
Maybe
him.
pay someone to beat up every day.
the one time
That's
I saw
fire.
him, he's like this jack dude that's in his 50s and he's eating like a big ass burger and fries.
You'll spend whatever money you have to entertain yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Hey, I'm gonna pay $1 million a year, and I'm gonna smack you in the face every day when I wake up.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Are you actually?
I need to
would you like
smack
to
them
smack?
before I go to sleep and when I wake up.
Who would you smack?
I mean, whatever, like a Tim or a Pete.
I would
Yeah, it has to
gladly
be
take $1
someone-
million a year to get smacked in the face every
You
day.
know what I would pick? Nick Sakai. Every
A lot of
month.
Vegas listeners, so I'm sure
I don't
they'll
think
be
so.
happy.
I know
Well,
Omar
well,
got-
yeah.
I don't know if Nick listens anymore, but Omar Cashin does, and definitely will be in the group chat tomorrow.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, moving on. So I mentioned briefly Bernie Madoff died. The only reason why I think this is significant is he died on the day of the Coinbase IPO,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, what a like a
Old
symbolic,
money gone,
yes,
new money, yeah.
like it was a symbolic statement
Yeah.
that like, because to me, Bernie, obviously he was a Ponzi scheme, con artist, all those things. But when you look under the hood of a lot of these traditional banks, it feels like that.
Yep.
Like it feels like it's a scam and the way they've been running their business. And I thought it was just very symbolic in that. Other than that, like he wasn't a good guy. I have nothing nice to say about him. So let's move on briefly to politics. This is really interesting. It's pretty much confirmed now that Russian intelligence worked with a Russian spy to get information to Paul Manafort. I mean, it's to those that don't know what all that means is it sounds like the Trump campaign did actually collude with the Russians.
I'm telling you, these guys just didn't know the law.
Yeah, they were just
Like they're just like, oh, it's like a hustle deal. Oh,
Yeah.
real estate. We're gonna back channel this, that. Like
Yeah.
they're negotiating like an appearance contract or something or a boxing match. These guys like the hustle bustle, wheeling and dealing, the stuff that they're used to. Like I'm telling you, I don't think they were smart enough to like try to orchestrate like something and around not getting caught. I think they really just truly like had no idea like what they were
This is what we would do in New York.
So we're doing New York. So we're just doing the same moves. And little do they know that the streets are always watching, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, quite honestly, like the problem with the Trump stuff at this point is it doesn't matter because the people who won't believe it won't, and the people who believe it already believed it. So like, I mean, to me, this is an empty storyline at this point. Like you're not changing nobody's mind.
I understand, but I think people have to be held responsible because if you really think about it, you could surface level say, okay, what does this matter? Why does it matter is we ended up getting Donald Trump as a president. So let's just say, I agreed with Donald Trump. Cool. We are in such like the problems that have arisen from Donald Trump's presidency, forget the economic, just the political tension, the people tension, the division in the country, that all came from his presidency and what he represents. And to heal what was done is going to take fucking forever. Like all the people who believe in him literally how are you going to change their mind? Ever. Never, ever are you changing their mind.
Yeah.
Ever. That's what we're dealing with. So you know what? If they did do something illegal, fuck it. Go after all of them.
But you're saying go after them criminally.
Yes.
So at this point, I think everyone else is pardoned. So you have to go after Donald.
Yeah. I think that's where all roads lead to that. And I think we'll get there over time.
So you're saying you think Department of Justice will go after Donald Trump?
Yes. I think they now know he's been neutered, right? He's not on the platform. He does not have the power he had.
No, he's
6 months ago. He's completely irrelevant. So now you're really just upsetting like a portion of the population. But like if they're gonna spew out all this evidence in the next 6 months, and then I think they'll go after him.
We'll see. But I do think the woke has angered the center and the right so much that they just think this is just a woke means of like keep going after Trump.
I mean, to be honest, I don't even care. As long as he's like,
as long as I don't hear from him, fine.
Yeah, as long as like this, honestly, like I'm sure he's pulling strings. I heard, oh man, with the thing he said about Mitch McConnell at that
Stone Cold Loser.
Oh my God. Like I like shit like that. I need Trump to do that. I need him to cause hysteria amongst his political party. He needs to destroy. The Democrats are going to kill themselves. I'm not even worried. They don't even need Trump. They'll do it to themselves. But I want Trump to single-handedly burn that party down. I think like they need to. It's so crazy. The Republican Party is so stupid. If they just thought ahead 5-10 years, they would absolutely smoke the Democrats. This country is naturally center. Yeah. Like most of this country is. I mean, I think I've gotten pushed way more left because Trump is a psychopath and like I'm a human at the end of the day. But like I would say I'm probably a center, left-leaning centrist, right? You know what I'm saying?
You're a regular Candace Owens.
I don't know about
Tim's
that.
so mad he's giving you evil eyes.
He's a pan-capitalist. That's not a thing. Y'all made that up, right?
No,
okay.
he's woke.
Oh, you're woke.
He's a pansexual.
He's a Bernie bro.
Bernie, oh my God. The guy can't even raise minimum wage in his own state.
Yeah. Oh God. It's just going to turn into a paying capitalist V2.
Yeah. Listen, Jeff Bezos is gone. No one's going to talk about Bernie anymore.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's going to be the big story. We're going to see, but this will be the bombshell news that everyone's going to be talking about for the next 12 hours.
Yeah.
And then it'll be over. Other than that, there is some more IPOs coming out. There was one that came out today. AppLovin got slaughtered.
Saw that.
That's not good.
It was in our group chat.
Yeah, it went down a lot. That doesn't seem like a good situation. There was a health company there's a lot of IPOs coming out. There are mega fundraising rounds coming out. I don't think we're going to see any short of any real action anytime soon. So, I mean, every day is a record high in the stock market, right? What are we at here today? Dow Jones 34,000, Nasdaq 14,000, S&P 500 just broke 4,000 recently. It's 4170.
It's crazy.
Insane. All right.
And then everyone's predicting, and I think rightfully so, the next 3 months is going to be the biggest consumption boom that we've ever seen.
Yes.
In terms of restaurants,
Yeah,
car
hospitality.
buying, vacations,
Yeah.
travel. I mean, traffic year over year pre-pandemic, they said U.S. highways is up.
They said retail is up from pre-pandemic. Up from pre-pandemic. Physical retail.
That's crazy.
We also highlight that you can now write off, what is it, meals? 100%.
100%.
100% of meals can
So
be
my
written
entire
off.
life can be written off.
You
It's the only
should,
thing I spend on.
you should recklessly spend on that. It's for you. It's an unbelievable deal.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a 100% right.
because I don't buy shit.
Yeah, you could go spend
You
$2
just
million.
eat.
What?
You just eat.
Yeah, you
I
see, you
wonder
drink.
if I bought the weed man meals when
Yes.
he give me weed for free.
Yes.
And then I can write off weed.
Yeah.
Smart
I mean,
move.
you can't just walk to a retailer like a normal person.
What, the weed
Do you
retailer?
have like a regular drug dealer still?
He's trying to keep it old school.
I love how these-
I have the black market vibe. Yeah, I don't do
These guys just hit record IPOs
Yeah.
and they're like,
Yeah,
okay, we deal on
gotta
the
keep my ear.
table.
You know how much you learn from your weed man. I'm gonna tell you this. I was telling Nas this earlier that like the weed man has traditionally been a very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Unreliable person in your life, where it's like, oh, I'll be there in an hour. They show up in 8 hours. I'm coming on Tuesday. They show up on Friday and shit like that. But I grew my hair out during the pandemic, and I started getting it braided. People who braid hair are way worse than the weed man when it comes to appointments. It's like, I mean, like this one girl had me looking nuts for like a week, like all kind of stuff. It was just like the craziest.
I thought you were going to
craziest
say
time.
that because weed's so accessible now that the weed man was forced to be more efficient and show up on time. So the weed man's still unreliable.
Well, no. My weed man is very good, and I'm just thinking that this is a creative way to like save some money though.
Yeah. You
I
can
trade him for a meal. Like, yo, go buy whatever you want at Mr. Chow's. Just give me 2 ounces.
just
He
leave it.
wants to be a weed man now.
I got a couple guys.
God, that's a
I'll be
great
a
way to
weed.
just get everyone paid.
Yeah.
I owe you
it's-
money? Cool. I'll just go take
Let's
you
go.
to dinner.
Let's go to dinner.
You save 50%.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're going to be taking me to lunch a lot.
All right, moving on to some big news. Pfizer CEO says the third COVID vaccine dose is likely needed within 12 months. Is this a money grab or do we really need this third dose?
I think we need it. And I think you're seeing cases pop up in states where vaccinations aren't being
It's gone up here too.
Even California,
In the
LA,
last
it's
week.
up. Yeah,
California, but not LA, right?
LA is up too.
Yeah, because I think we're hitting a point where not enough people are getting vaccinations and not enough people have been infected. So to get herd immunity, you need one of the two. And now we're pretty much at the point, if you don't get the vaccine, that means you don't want it. And that's a big problem because the way viruses work is that if this virus keeps existing, it can mutate. And then all of us who've been vaccinated no longer will be effective if it keeps mutating. So the PSA is go get your fucking vaccine.
So we're probably getting shut down in September. Full lockdown.
No.
No.
I don't think that'll ever happen again. I think we'll just see body bags.
Ooh.
I mean, to be quite honest with you, I actually,
Yeah, that's very dark.
You take that out, Tim.
No, you have to keep that in.
we're
That was
leaving
fair.
that. That's good.
I had a conversation with an anti-vaxxer on DM yesterday who posted something when the Johnson & Johnson stuff happened.
Oh, yeah.
And was, and everyone's talking about that. And, it's like, look, I think all this stuff is serious. So I don't want to seem like I'm not like I'm being insensitive. But I mean, if you just look at holistically and you look at what happens if you have COVID versus what happens if you get the vaccine, it's like not even comparable. And this person kept posting, you better watch it, be careful, you better not get that stuff. And when I see someone being that aggressive, I feel the need to say something, and I'm not combative. I just simply like, hey, I just want to let you know I got the vaccine. I'm fully vaccinated now. Just want to let you know that I had no real problems. I feel good. I have an uncle who's a doctor who got vaccinated in December. He's fine. And we're just kind of like trying to have conversation. And it immediately, well, when you got a third leg growing out of your neck, don't come back to this DM. And I'm like,
Third leg out of your neck. Is that what people believe?
I'm like, you know what? Why did I even do this?
Yeah.
Like that's where people's heads are. So you know what? If you don't want to get vaccinated, fine. Be my guest.
but
They need to, honestly, I wish the vaccine passport had some real legs, because I want people who are being this ignorant to just get shut out of society.
Shame them.
But think about
Shut them out. They probably don't even have money.
to go to schools.
Broke bitch.
Yeah, broke ass
No, but
bitch.
schools require vaccines, right, D?
And, LAUSD is contemplating that.
But it's not official.
Not official.
I think it should be.
I'm
mad no one asked me for my vaccine card when I walked in here.
Sorry.
I'll ask next time.
Not COVID vaccine. They require hepatitis,
That's
measles,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff,
all that
right?
stuff, yes.
You can't go to Africa without your yellow fever vaccination.
You can't go
thing.
to school.
You can't go to school without these basic vaccines. Why is this all of a sudden controversial?
because of the media. It's the media.
It's the media. Chris Rock,
Yeah.
he freaking called this. But like, I have no problem with government mandated vaccines. And if you don't get vaccinated, you don't get to participate in society. Because guess what happened when the virus spread? We all got shut down by government mandate.
Yeah.
So why can't government mandate something that will prevent a government mandate lockdown? It seems so logical.
Yeah. I mean, because it's such a political thing, it won't get any.
If you can't go to school without basic vaccines, I mean, adults shouldn't be able to go to restaurants without a vaccine card.
So I think the way ultimately you get the population vaccinated is, I think it's easiest for employers to do it. Like, you work at Amazon, you don't get to come unless you're
or you
vaccinated.
get a $50 bonus or something.
Sure, I'm sure they're happy to do all those things. I'm just saying, like, you know, if it was shut down an Amazon warehouse again, they're gonna make every employee get vaccinated because they're not gonna. Then they're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
It's not against the law to make your employees get vaccinated.
I mean, like, I think, like, if there's a medical or religious reason, I'm like, obviously I want to respect those. But if you're like one of those people like, no, I'm not going to have like the person who did me a third leg growing out of my neck, like,
That could be religious.
I want that person to not be allowed anywhere.
Restaurants.
Like, can't go to restaurant, can't go to games, can't go to concerts, can't go anywhere. Literally, society should literally, like,
I'm going to
just
start a
remove them.
business for those people. Their own restaurants, their own concerts, their own.
But that's part of the problem.
Well, it's a free country. That's the problem.
I will say the next 4 weeks are going to be interesting because cases are popping up. I think deaths are way down because there's enough vaccinations that the viral load just lower.
It's not even that. It's because a lot of old people are vaccinated.
vaccinated, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like most of the people getting sick are
younger.
young.
They said the like sub 30 crowd are the ones that are getting testing
Pete's
positive.
friends.
Yeah, Pete's friends. Okay. All right. Well, let's end on some good news from our friend. Jaleel White, our good friend, launched his own cannabis brand. And the name is amazing. Purple Urkel.
That's a gas.
It was trending all day the other day.
Yeah.
yeah, it's trending on Twitter.
Is it
Congrats.
good? Is the weed good?
Oh, I haven't smoked it.
You haven't?
No, I don't have the plug.
You said that like you're like a recovering addict. You're just like, I haven't smoked it.
Yo.
But he's going to
no, I
come
haven't.
on to talk about it.
The guy hasn't even hit me up about it. Hasn't brought it. Nothing. It's offered me.
Maybe he's going through your weed, man.
I'm very.
Trying to give you good service.
I'm gonna tell you what's worse than that. You know who asked to send me some? Scott Pickett. How did Scott Pickett ask
his
me?
company's running
It's
it.
his company.
But you asked me.
Pete's in the office.
Yeah,
Pete's-
I'm in the
Pete's
loop.
Scott
Wow,
Pickett's
I'm in the loop
office.
before you.
Yes, Scott Pickett offered me Stefan Arkell's weed before he did. I'm very offended.
Oh, man. I
Scott's
like it.
got
I
some
think it's going to
explaining
work.
to
I
do.
think the name's fire. The
Fire.
branding is good.
I have faith too. And Jaleel's a great guy.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah, we're going to have him come on and talk about it.
Oh shit! Today's winners. I don't know nothing.
You don't have a winner?
I guess me.
Yeah.
Did we tie a bow on Urkel? We're going to winners, losers.
Yeah,
and
Oh
brothers?
yeah. My bad. Sorry, Jaleel.
That's all we got on Jaleel. I don't know. Let's
Yeah.
see if
What
anything-
the fuck do you want to say? That's it.
It was a little abrupt.
All right, fine. I'll do it. Did I do that?
Man, I hope he's not listening today.
He's gonna be like, fuck this.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. Your winner is you.
My winner is me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's yes, thank you.
Big win.
Big one.
Thank you guys. Funny enough, the only other person that believed was this guy, Anand. So we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I definitely didn't believe.
You didn't believe. I mean, but you know what I like about you, D? When you start believing, you're not afraid to jump on the bandwagon.
No. I jumped on.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm a believer.
Yeah. That's all that matters. So yeah, I'm the winner this week for myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Anand?
The winner is everyone with access to a mobile phone because you get to participate in the crypto
So
economy.
5 billion people.
5 billion people are the winner.
Wow.
And Coinbase,
I don't think 5 billion people feel like they're winners.
they will be.
Okay.
That's the whole purpose of the mission of what Coinbase is doing. And I think it's just such a seminal moment for the world that this is going to be possible and accessible for everyone, despite all of Wall Street trying to prevent this from happening for 10 plus years.
Yep.
This band of outsiders won, and they won big, and now everyone's going to win.
Wow, everyone's winning, huh? I like that. My winner is freaking Pete.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's part of the band of outsiders. Winning.
He's definitely an outsider.
Yeah, definitely
He's
not.
outside as fuck.
Wait, what's really great is I talked to a friend today, and I was advising him on crypto. He's like, man, should I get in on this Doge? I was like, get in on this Doge, man. And we were going back and forth. He's like, why the fuck am I asking you for financial advice? I go, I don't know, but you shouldn't trust anything I'm saying.
But yeah, I mean, I think, I echo that. You shouldn't trust anything you're saying. But it is just fascinating watching you actually make money. I hope you make money on this, a substantial amount. But it's unbelievable just that that's even possible.
Yeah.
And that a lot of people are making money on it. Because it's just it was never possible for the average person to double their money in a year. Freaking impossible.
And you know what's
Doubled my
exciting?
money in 3 days.
That's what I'm saying.
What's
Yeah.
exciting about all this that's going on, it's just Main Street realizing that these institutions are flawed and trying to keep people out. The Redditors did it. And they were so close to fucking burying a few multi-billion-dollar hedge funds.
Yeah, they were about to bring
They were
down the house.
literally about to bury these fuckers.
Right.
And they got prevented by, the powers to be. And that's not stopping. That theme is not stopping. Crypto is going to enable it. Reddit's going to enable it. And people are going to be able to participate. And it makes me so excited about the future.
Because Dogecoin is a perfect example where maybe now there's no way any institution is going there and saying, we got to get some exposure to Doge, right? Because at least Bitcoin, it's had 10-year existence.
What if Tesla goes and puts $2 billion in Doge?
Well, that's my point. Is then it becomes a different, but the fact that look at Pete. He's like, oh my God, I'm gonna be rich.
Yo, I'm buying more, by the way.
But it's just fascinating that this is the people's coin.
This
really is the people's
And
coin.
this is the first time that people get to actually vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's GameStop, whether it's Dogecoin, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, the people are deciding, not the institutions.
Yeah. Especially on Doge.
Yeah.
Especially because that one's just
I
insane.
mean, it's the internet. You don't, if you try to doubt the internet
I don't
like
see
that,
color. I only see Doge.
that's one way of looking
You
at
only see
it.
moon.
Yeah.
What color is the moon? On iPhone, it's yellow, right?
Yeah.
What color is the moon in real life? Gray?
Yeah. I just don't want to spoil it for everybody else.
It's like white and gray.
No, not what we see is the
Oh,
moon.
when Pete sees up there.
Yeah, when Pete's at Mars, what does he see?
Yeah, well, what does Earth look like is what we should be asking.
Tiny
It's
little
not looking
speck.
Okay,
down.
we're moving on.
Okay. Yeah.
So what is it, losers now?
Yeah, losers now.
Who's a loser? I don't really have one yet. I gotta think about it.
Well, probably that person in your DMs.
Pete, who's your loser?
Yeah, who's
you
your
have to have a
loser, Pete?
loser.
Oh yeah, I don't think about this stuff, so I don't have one.
Neither of you guys.
There's only
are
winners
losers?
this week.
You know what? I have a loser.
Okay.
And it's a loser that I'm not happy about. And it's the Denver Nuggets.
Wow.
Ooh.
I feel so bad that they lost Jamal Murray, man. I mean, I gotta tell you, they were looking like a real tough out for the Lakers. I think they would have been a sneaky NBA championship contender. And I love watching Jamal Murray play. He's one of my favorite players to watch. And, you know, they're an unfortunate loser this week. And not because, you know, like anything to diss them or anything. It's just they're in a fucked up spot. And funny enough, I spoke to Josh Kroenke today, one of my good friends. And
Explain who he is.
Josh Kroenke's he's the son of Stan Kroenke, and they own the Rams, Arsenal, the Avalanche, and Denver Nuggets. With him specifically, he's very much involved in the Nuggets. Like that's his baby. And he's such a great guy. And I know he worked really hard to put that team together. And it's really unfortunate situation. And the thing that sucks most is this maybe jeopardizes next year too. Because the guy's, when is he coming back? Like before the playoffs next season? So
and then presumably not in full
minutes restriction, no back-to-backs. So like, I don't know. This is, and you know, Jokic is only 26. So he's still he's not even in his prime as far as I'm concerned. But it's just an unfortunate situation.
Okay.
My loser is Rashida Tlaib, Congresswoman out of Michigan. She tweeted this week after the murder of Dante Wright. Granted, everyone was up in arms, rightfully so. And then she subsequently says, no more policing, no more incarceration. So that's the problem with the other side of the coin. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Like no one believes that. Who believes no more policing, no more incarceration?
Because here, my loser was the police.
Yeah.
And it's insane, you know, this week was remnants of this past summer.
Yeah.
Where there's been 3, maybe 4 incidents of murder.
Yep.
Of young black men by the hands of the police. And I understand that statement is completely incorrect.
And that's how you lose the message. That's how you lose support. Because that's how you lose change.
Yeah.
You can't say that shit.
Yeah, you can't say it. I agree with that. I think obviously everyone's very frustrated and angered because there's been unfortunately very little progress when it's all said and done.
Yep.
And I mean, these are kids who got killed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're talking young ass kids. And there's just no like solution in the short term. And I don't know how this slows down because we're about to enter the summer, which is when all young people are out and about. And especially in places like Chicago and Philly and New York City and LA, where it's obviously heavy black population, heavy police presence. Well, what are we in for? Like the summer of fucking hell?
Right.
And it's not going to end good for all these cities if this continues to happen. Because there's going to be people back on the streets protesting. And it will cripple all the momentum we have as a country if we can't even keep our own citizens safe.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this is where the far left needs to come to their senses. Do you want to get tweets and retweets or do you want to actually make change? So come out publicly and say, hey, I'm just doing this for Twitter clout. Because by saying no police, no incarceration, it's just a silly thing to say because no one, what percent of the country believes that?
Yeah.
1%? 0.5%?
Yeah, I doubt most believe that.
Yeah, so you're talking 99% of the country thinks that's completely asinine, and you're a congressperson saying that.
Yeah. Okay. Content recommendation.
Honestly, man, I've been working so much. I haven't been watching much. I would say, something very exciting to pay attention to. The way the NBA season shapes up down the stretch. I've been watching a lot of basketball this season.
Yeah, excessive amount of basketball.
Yeah,
I think Anthony watches more basketball than most of the basketball podcasters I listen to.
Yeah, so I've been watching a lot of basketball this year. The quality's been fantastic. Some teams turning it on late. I feel like I'm rooting heavily against the Nets. Like literally, I don't know about the Clippers, but if like the Lakers don't win, as long as the Nets and Clippers don't win, I'll be really happy. So yeah, my content recommendation is a little lazy because I haven't thought about it much, but it's the NBA.
Okay.
Who do you think wins the whole thing?
The Lakers. Yeah. I'm with the king all the way.
Pete got his Bucks gear from a listener. Now he's
what?
feeling a little confident.
Yeah, but I still don't think the Bucks would win.
I mean,
I'm a realist.
Why
they're not
not
going to make it to
delusional.
the.
why did he get his gear? Or why?
I mean, they may not. They're not going to make it out the second round.
No.
Yeah.
I really.
Well, why they have to play the Nets?
I mean,
They're just not a talented enough team. They're not an NBA championship team.
It's Giannis has too many holes in his offensive game to just be like completely unstoppable, like the way Luka can get or Steph Curry can get.
I don't watch anything, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
Luka's Ollie's son.
Luka is Ollie's son.
Luka's always what?
Son.
It's Ali Fakari's son.
Oh my God.
That's the Luka I know.
Did you see
And
Luka's
he's
shot?
not really
Did you
playing
see Luka's
basketball
shot
yet.
last night?
No.
Nuts.
I saw the one-legged
The little
three.
floater.
Guy like threw it up. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
Classic.
At the buzzer.
All right, Anand.
So I said the podcast on Tuesday, which I've already gotten a lot of comments on, Invest Like the Best with
Okay.
Chris Dixon. It's definitely like a must listen. We've talked about so much on crypto in the last week and a half. If you really want to understand it, I think he does an amazing job. He's way smarter than I am and understands this way better than I do. So he breaks it down incredibly. But I'm going to give you a movie, an older movie that I rewatched this week.
Mighty Ducks.
It's incredible. I mean, My Ducks is incredible. Argo.
Oh, yeah. Argo, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Argo is
Is that the one? What's his name?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
It's the Iranian hostage crisis.
It's amazing.
The fact that that's a real story is
insane.
just insane.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's just a cool movie. I thought it was done really well.
Great. Yeah, that is a great movie. I'll watch that. Mine is a HBO documentary called Brute.
Mhm.
And it's about pretty much like the colonization of America. And it's just insane when you look at the history of America and a lot of places around the world of really like the Spanish and British empires kind of coming into America, coming into different parts of, the West Indies, and like how brutal they were in taking over this country
Yeah.
and how it's insane. It just, so many things make so much sense why certain people are the way they are today, given the history of this country. It's fucking nuts.
It sounds like a snooze fest.
No, it's amazing.
It's like I felt like I was in third grade history class just now.
Yeah, but
Oh, the colonizations, the Mayans, the Incas, bro.
just shut up and watch basketball.
Shut up
I'll
and
shut up and dribble. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up and dribble.
It's amazing. It is a history lesson.
Brute. Got it.
Got it. Noted.
I actually saw another thing I want to point out. HBO did a documentary.
They're on fire, by the way.
The day in sports, the day that the
sports
Utah
is-
Jazz game
yeah.
got canceled for COVID, and that was like
Oh,
kind of the beginning of the U.S. realizing COVID is real. Incredible. Chris Paul's in like half of it, and he's such a good like storyteller. Awesome documentary.
I don't think I will ever forget that moment.
I remember
How
where
the
I was.
whole world shut down because of the NBA.
NBA, that was so good.
Did we go to Lucali that night? The nice guy pop up?
I
When
don't
was that
remember.
Lakers game? Were you at that Lakers game?
No, I was at the Laker game the day before with Jeffrey and we were with the CEO of Mattel and the CEO of Nickelodeon.
But was that against the Nets? Was that the last game?
No, it was the game before the last game. And then I was on set at there was an Apple Music commercial that aired like late last summer. A huge one was like Future, Cardi B, whatever. There were supposed to be like 8 artists. They only shot the first 4. And it was the day the NBA season canceled. So we were on set. And I remember being there and like putting hand sanitizer on my hands and like not touching anything. And like everyone there was like pretty like normal for the most part. Go home. I'm watching one of the games. And then literally it was a game that stopped at like halftime. I don't remember. It wasn't the Utah game. It was one that was already going.
Yeah.
Kings? Maybe?
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas Mavericks.
The one where you saw
Mark Cuban starts getting crazy.
Yes, he starts
Yeah.
going crazy. So
His whole sink in his chair thing.
yeah, he was literally like
Yeah.
it was nuts.
When I saw that reaction, I was like, fuck, it's over.
I mean, to your point from the beginning, like pop culture is what drives everything.
Yeah.
The fact that the Jazz game the NBA shutting down the season was the moment America and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, it's Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks and the NBA in one night, America started taking COVID seriously.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane. Tom Hanks was big.
All right, I gotta go.
Okay.
Well,
All
we're
right,
almost
you can
done.
go. We still got to do shout outs and stuff.
Oh, okay, I'll keep going.
Please keep all that in.
All right. We're gonna move on to shout outs.
Where do you have to be? I'm just curious.
I have to be on a Zoom at 4:45, but I live 15 minutes away. So
Okay.
we'll do these. Satoshi. Let's go.
He knows.
Well, first I wanted to follow up with Chelsea Marshall with Off the Block, the charcuterie boards we were talking about last time.
Yeah.
You said get a code.
Yeah.
We got a code.
What's the
So
code?
use the code group chat or the code pancapitalist to get 30% off with no minimum order.
That is
the
a hard
website?
code.
Yeah, no, people don't know how to spell capitalist.
Yeah.
Pete didn't.
They're like,
Yeah, I didn't either.
You know, we already have a beer sponsor for Pan Capital.
I saw.
We
Wait,
do.
that was Satoshi's shout out?
No.
What's the website?
The website, well, the Instagram is off the block _CLT. The website. Chelsea, give me the website. Chelsea will send me the website. We'll
Okay.
put it in the description.
Yeah, I'm not leaving before Satoshi. I don't want him to say shit about me.
You want to come back for the next one? 'cause they
Yeah,
don't
it's
talk
not
shit.
live.
Okay.
This one is from, do you have any?
Yeah, I want
Okay.
to whenever you're done.
Go for it.
Okay.
2 years
So
first.
Come on,
Yeah.
Satoshi. You know Satoshi's last.
Yeah, real quick. So we have one from Victoria Grimes. She said, no lie, I've been so happy for Anand. Even jumped on the coupon IPO the day it went out, but I have been so excited for you, talking about me, and Dogecoin. I finally listened to you and jumped in at 9 cents, and I'm glad I did.
Wow.
I'm officially
Wow.
up 49.5% on Dogecoin, and I'm only up 0.2 on coupon. That being said, your investment advice has yielded a higher return than Anand's. Thanks for that. So big claps out for me. If anything we say in this podcast should not be taken seriously.
I love it.
That's amazing. Good for you.
And then we have a shout out from Man Cuddy. Man Cuddy says, hey gang, hope you're doing well today. I actually got some shout outs for today's episode, so let's get straight to it. First shout out is for my guy Brent out in Arizona.
He has his own shout out?
Yes.
He wants, this is shout outception. He wants to shout out Tim and Anand for crushing it in the Pan Capitalist pod. Hopefully Anand doesn't morph into the evil vampire that Tim thinks all rich people will become. I also want to give a quick shout out to the friend of the pod, Jaleel White, on the launch of the new brand Purple Urkel. Congrats, bro. Gang is proud of you. Now on to our brief winners, losers, and content. My winner of the week is A-Rod and Mark Lohr for their purchase of the Minnesota Timberwolves. The team is absolute cheeks, but they have some great young talent, so I think it's a good investment. My loser of the week is Benny from Goldman Sachs. Maybe with that coaching that Anand promised, I could get him a job there and replace him. My content rec is the WeWork doc. It's not as good as Cobra Kai, but I finally got around to it, and it's interesting. I don't watch a ton of shows, but I feel like the ones I have watched in the past are all being held up in production by COVID. I need a new Caesar Stranger Things, amongst others.
So
Yeah.
this is my problem with his with his
careful.
content
You're gonna get
recommendation.
Now he's
talk.
going to come after you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not worried. Let's be very clear here. The content issue. All he does is copy. He's like 1 month behind all your content recommendations.
Yeah.
Like, be original, man. Like, I mean, he had a spark in the early days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, Cobra Kai some months
Yeah,
ago.
Cobra
We worked
Kai.
some last week.
you
Satoshi
didn't
Pete.
even have the second kid when you were talking about Cobra Kai. But I think he's lost his shit a little bit, man.
He doesn't have that same touch anymore.
Yeah, you know, I think now he's trying too hard. He's getting cute. I like when he talks shit about drama, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why drama stopped showing up.
Yeah, that's why he's not here anymore. He got
He
hurt.
definitely doesn't stick around for the shout outs.
Yeah.
No.
It's always funny when you're listening to the podcast and all of a sudden you only hear the four of you. Like Drama's voice just drops off. Like there's always like these random moments where it's just like no more drama. Oh,
my
man.
God. All right, guys. Anything
Great.
else?
That's it.
We're good.
Doge to the moon.
Doge to the moon. You know, hopefully Doge hits $1 this weekend.
Yeah, so we can get him a tattoo appointment.
Nas asked me about Dogecoin today. I said it's literally a joke, but it could work.
You should put him in touch with me. I can talk to him about it.
Yeah, I would love for Nas to get on the phone with Pete for Pete to explain him Dogecoin.
Oh my god.
So it's a dog. It's after a dog.
For as great of a manager you are, that might be the nail in the coffin for you.
Yeah.
Pete on the phone.
I do love you, Pete, but no. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for coming
Great
on.
being here.
Congratulations.
Peace.